G'day guys, Dan here from Epic Drives, Western Australia. Heading out on another trip, heading south this time, just me and my boys. And we're going to Peaceful Bay, and then we're going to be heading further north up to a place called Banksia Camp. Looks like there's a really nice beach there, and I know a lot of people have sort of been there before, and I can't wait to see it for myself. I think the majority of Perth is heading down south for the Australia Day long weekend, so by the time you see this, Australia Day would have come and gone, so I hope you did something awesome for Australia Day. We're on the old Kwinana freeway at the moment, and it's absolutely packed, which no surprise really. And we're going for 3 days, 2 nights. I think first night we're going to try our luck at Crystal Springs campsite if we can get a spot there, otherwise we're going to be driving around till probably dark to find somewhere. Heaps of cool looking four-wheel drive tracks that we're going to be tackling, hopefully getting a bit of a fish. Haven't been away for just over a month now. Last trip we did was up to Kalbarri, and I'll link that video up the top there, and it was amazing. I mean, it's the gorges and the ocean and just everything about that place is really nice. Only downside was we copped the wind the entire time, which up there is fairly standard. This trip the weather looks a lot cooler than the weather that we've been having up in Perth. Low 20s, bit of rain, so who knows, I might even have to put a jumper on. I can't remember what that feels like. Anyway, we've got a while to go, so here's me fancy intro.
Got a hold on me, you can tell by the way I'm talking. I see they got a hold on you, I can tell by the way you've been walking. It's getting hot, mama.
That's living.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot, mama. It's getting hot. Sun, and it's hotter than a jungle too. Praying for the winter, but it ain't much better when your feet are freezing off in your boots. It's getting hot, mama. It's getting hot. It's getting hot, mama. Oh, it's getting hot. Got a hold on me, you can tell by the holes in my pockets. So before they get a hold on you, put your money in a safe and lock it. It's getting hot, mama. Oh, it's getting hot. It's getting hot, mama.
Just did a drive through Crystal Springs, which is my intended place to camp, because obviously the caravan park's full, and it's full. So we're going to crack on. We're going to head to Peaceful Bay, and I've had a bit of a heads up from a bloke on the Worms page on Facebook, Western Off-Roading Mates. If you haven't heard of it, check it out, because it's a super handy group of people who are all super knowledgeable and super helpful. We're going to head down to Peaceful Bay, and he's given me a heads up that there's a place down there that we might get lucky, so we're going to check it out.
Take a train ride, hop out on the east side. The women there look right, but they ain't looking at you. You ain't got nothing, don't try to get on some. They don't want it even if you do. It's getting hot, mama. It's getting hot. It's getting hot, mama.
Made it to Walpole, so All good there. We just gotta try and work out where we're gonna sleep tonight, but that's all part of the adventure. You. Okay, so we've just hit the off-road section here down in Peaceful Bay. Drove past the caravan park, it's packed. So yeah, they weren't lying when they said it's full. So we're gonna air down. I'm gonna go down to 16 PSI and then we'll crack along here and see if we can find a sneaky spot for the night. The track so far has been pretty good. We've got those rubber mats that are synonymous with down south to help protect the dunes, but there's a bit of a hill climb, and we've already spotted something that I'm not meant to talk about, an SNAKE across the track, big U-gite. Gonna give Salmon Beach a crack. It says on the sign that someone's written no in texter next to the access track, so we'll see what that's about when we get there, and if it does start to get a bit hairy. We're going to be pushing light soon. It's 20 past 5 and haven't sort of got the boys dinner yet. Obviously haven't got to camp, so hopefully we can get there relatively soon so we can start winding down for the day. Here we go, we're heading down to Salmon Bay now. Bit of an odd angle here.
It's getting high,
Oh, which one? Oh, look at that. There we go, I reckon that is the campsite. So we'll go have a look at the beach and we'll come back and we'll hang out there. Yes, happy boys, we found the campsite. There we go. You can't see, there's a pillow in the way. So we're gonna set up camp. I'll get these guys fed. It'll be dark and then it'll be the next day before we know it. I'm pretty tired. It's been a longish day of driving, so dinner time. Check out this view. And this is what I'm gonna wake up to tomorrow morning. We're having dinner, so the boys are eating, and we're going to have it back at the campsite. Swag all set up. Had a tiny bit of rain. Forecast was for rain today, rain tomorrow, but so far perfect. Anyway, if I don't speak to you again tonight, I'll be speaking to you in the morning. On the track, just left camp. So we're just going to drive the short distance it is up to Rame Head. Check it out, might go for a fish. It's 20 to 8, so it took us a little while to pack away, but we never, I never do it too quickly. It's always one of those things, I get distracted, do other stuff, but we're on the road. got a couple of herring. We're going to drive up a bit and see the next beach and maybe throw the lines out there and see how we go.
Rame. Plan now is to head back through Walpole and we're going to head up to Broke Inlet, try and get to the mouth of the river there where the ocean is. Not too much of a huge trek to get there. Just got to head back onto the blacktop, so we're going to have to air up again once we get done with this track. And yeah, nice, pretty easy track. Really nice for, you know, someone who hasn't done much beach driving before. Is a excellent way of getting the idea of it, because they've got those rubber mats everywhere, and you know, the odds of getting bogged here aren't too great, and if you do, well, it's you know, I don't think you're going to end up getting too massively bogged. And driving on sand's a great way of learning how to four-wheel drive anyway, because in reality, once soft, you're not going to do a lot of damage. Weather's hit and miss. Keeps getting sunny, then cloudy again. Anyway, well, head back to the blacktop, air up. Gonna be lunch, I think. Will's just airing up for me. Be in the blacktop again.
Papa, this is full.
Thank you. The boys upstairs.
Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down?
Wow.
When it's grey outside, it really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
So blue holes that was. The sand is really quite soft, so actually put my tyre pressures down to 12 psi. We're heading back out now, and onwards. It is very beautiful, nice and fresh, not hot, not cold, perfect. Boys are asleep. We had a tiny bit of a discussion about calling the trip short, heading home. I don't know why, I just sort of thought I'd throw it their way, and wow, it was a massive tantrum, so that was a bad suggestion on my part. We're on our way to Banksia Camp. It looks like it's going to be busy though, there's been heaps of cars coming up and down here, so we'll see when we get there.
Until winter comes, it really makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
I remember when you were 6, life of Will and Jim, just sleep, wait till you get to camp, get woken up, and then have an amazing spot to camp. There's like 10 meters from where we're camping. Down to the beach. Super nice. I'll wake these guys up and get stuff sort of semi set up, and we'll go for a fish. Jimmy, Will. Boys. Jimmy, Will. Oh my goodness. Must have been a big night last night. Awakened from their slumber. Ready to go into 7-year-old hyperdrive.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are?
Cop that for an island. You can keep Rottnest.
It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I just wonder.
How good's life when the only decision at the moment is where are we gonna fish?
Yeah, I wonder. Makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder.
We got Will reeling in the big hooks, but nothing big taking anything. Jimmy's got the small hooks, so it's just a good excuse really to hang out down the beach. Some rods in the water, lines in the water. Boys are just about finished their nachos.
I'm done.
Jimmy's done. There's the remnants of it.
And I'm gonna set a fire with sticks.
Well, when it's not
And I'm using
a
this
fire restriction.
And I'm gonna use.
He's lighting a stick with a rock.
And I'm gonna use this to put
I'm
it
lighting a
out.
fire with a stick and a rock.
And I'm gonna use this to put it
Oh,
out.
okay, so he's that confident he's going to start it up. And yeah, we just got back from the beach. Beautiful down there. It's starting to cool down a fair bit. So we'll get everything ready for tonight. Let the sun go down. Have an early night, I think. But yeah, great day. Well done.
Take the plant.
Jimmy's still trying to light a fire. You got the swag set up here. How nice is this for a spot? In amongst the bush. Beautiful. This is us for the night.
I can do the explosion.
Boys are happy, still happy, which is good.
I'm trying to set the fire, but I'm thinking maybe if I make it gas, and then I'll go stick it into the bottle, go.
Yep.
But when I just explode the bottle.
Maybe a bit of a pyro on our hands. Walk on the beach before it gets dark.
Don't hang up.
What a beach, what a beach.
Can we be friends again? I give up. I know how this ends. Might sound strange, but I'd give my life for you. Nothing's changed. I just ran away from the truth. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again. But that's what we do. That's just what we do. Last weekend, that was your turn, I guess. Let's pretend that we are making progress. One of us makes a mistake. We work our way through the heartache, and then we're back where we started. We've gone full circle again.
Seriously good surf today.
But that's what we do. That's just what we do.
Yeah, we just spent a couple of hours down the beach. Woke up super early, everything packed away, so we're just going to head out onto the four-wheel drive track out of Banksia Camp, and it's probably only about maybe 10-15 k's of off-roading to Broke Inlet, and then back out to Southwest Highway and then home.
Like we always do.
The end of the inlet there, so it's not actually broken through to the ocean. Nice and calm, beautiful. Broke Inlet. View crew here. Surprisingly, it's not all that busy compared, well, considering it is Australia Day today. Really good. Passed a whole heap of cars on the way. I stayed here last night, so we'll spend an hour or so here, and then we'll head back. It's a fairly long trip. I'd suggest if you've got a soft roader, it's really going to be a bit of a you know, tough slog, but I guess if you've got a four-wheel drive with you, you give it a go. It's not too soft, it's just you need a little bit of clearance that typically comes with your standard four-wheel drive. We'll flick the rod out here and enjoy it. Okay, so occasionally I get sent product to review, and this is the latest one that I've been sent. It's called the Annihilate Assassin. I'll put a link in the description of where you can get your hands on one of these if you're keen, but let's have a look and see exactly what it is. Alright, so that'll be the instructions. Cool bag. Let's get rid of this box. So in here is a tactical version of, I guess, well, they call it a tactical shovel. It's kind of like a shovel's version of a Swiss Army knife. So I'm doing it with one hand. Let's get all this stuff out. Alrighty, so that's it there. So we've got like 4 pieces to screw together, all packs away into that tiny bag, which is great. Now the shovel's got some pretty cool features. Nice and sharp tip there for digging in, you know, quite hard to dig sort of soil. But on this side here, you've got like a sort of axe you could use. I don't know if that's a bottle opener, could be useful. And this side, so sort of like a sharpened blade, I guess, chiseling or whatever you want. One of the cool features is it's got an adjustable head, so you can adjust the head according to how you want it. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if you're perhaps even sort of rock climbing or something, I guess. I don't really know. I'd pretty much have it in the normal position. It even goes right down to that position there. So I think there's 5 or 6 different positions on it, and yeah, kind of cool. Hard to do with just the one hand whilst filming. Let's see if I can get it back in. Yeah, nice and easy to just adjust it back into its, you know, probably most usable position. Now the other cool feature is this. If you unscrew the different sections, you've got attachments that you can add to it. So the first section, you got a decent sort of knife there, which is obviously handy for all sorts of things when out camping and fishing and all driving. The next section, so then you basically is where you've got it as a handheld thing. Next position where you can add what you want. So this, you could also add another knife just by screwing in. This is more of a, I guess it's got a nice sort of saw on it. The other one's a bit more of your Bowie type knife. This one, again, could sort of open bottles or pry something with that. And then here, got a whistle, and that works. And at the top, this is kind of a cool feature. At the top here, you've got a little screw for your camera, so you can stick your camera on that, put it all together, and use it as a tripod. It's a kind of cool bit of kit. As I say, packs away nice and easy. And to be honest with you, I haven't had a lot of time to give it a good review because it's the first time I've taken it out. But I'll give it a crack. There's also some other stuff that you get in the bag. There's your hand saw there, and you've got a strap for the bag. And I mean, the bag's pretty cool itself. There's also a little bit of extra room in the bag, so you could put other stuff in there, you know, small stuff like compass or whatever with you. So not a bad bit of kit. I'll give it a good workout for the next, I don't know, 6 months or so, and then I'll come back and give it another review later and let you know how I get on. But yeah, links in the description below. Cheers. There's a few nice camp spots just hidden in the dunes. You can sort of see every now and again a few tracks for a nice sneaky bush camp down at Broke Inlet there. Well, they're dotted along the shore. Camp anywhere as long here. General rule as well, just keep it tidier than when you got there, so any rubbish, just pick it up and take it out with you. Alrighty, we're heading back out from Broke Inlet now, all the way back along Fisherman's Track, which is about an hour's drive. It says only about 20 k's, but I'm probably doing 20 k's an hour, so it makes sense. And then once we go along that track for a while, we'll hit Southwest Highway, and then that'll be the end of the trip. But I'm sure there's still plenty more exciting things to see along the way. It's only 11 o'clock, but we've got the long drive back to Perth coming up. Okay, so we've got ages to drive along Fisherman's Track, so time for a joke. I actually ran a competition for you to send in your best jokes on Facebook, and the winner of the competition is Ben Cullen. So cheers for that, mate. It was an absolute ripper. So this is it. A guy rings up his mate who owns a horse breeding stud joint, and he says to him, mate, I've got a friend of mine who's after a horse. He's a jockey, and you can't miss him, mate. He's tiny and he's got a lisp. He says, I'll keep my eye out for him, mate. Cheers, send him round. Sure enough, a couple of days later, this tiny little jockey rocks up. Says, good day, I'd like to buy a horse. He says, yeah, sure thing, I'll take you around the back. Now, you're after a male or a female horse? He says, oh, I want a female horse. He says, yep, no worries. Well, this is one of my prized horses right here. It shows him this beautiful horse. He says, oh, lovely horse, lovely wags. Can you pick me up so I can see his ears? So the guy picks him up and shows him the ears, holds him nice and close, and he inspects his ears. Oh, nice ears, he says. Can I see his eyes?
So he moves him over to his eyes and gives him a real good close look at his eyes. Whoa, then my eyes. Can I see it? Can I see her twat? And the guy's scratching his head. Okay, so he sticks the jockey up right in between the horse's legs, holds him there for a while, pulls him back out, and the poor jockey's just got this absolute shocked expression on his face. Looks at the horse breeder and says, oh, let me rephrase that. Can I see her one? Ha! So thanks for that, Ben, for letting me absolutely butcher your joke. You did it a lot better than me. So I'll send you a private message and get that stuff out to you, mate. Cheers.
There's the entrance to the whole schmozzle there. So there's a pay station, and you chuck your money in an envelope and leave it there with your rego. You can buy an annual parks pass as well, which is probably, if you're heading out all the time, a better option, a bit cheaper. A couple of quick tips at the end of the trip for anyone who's relatively new to four-wheel driving. One of the best things that you can do once you hit soft sand is to air down. It's kind of like magic, to be honest. Simply airing down your tyres from your highway pressures. So for instance, my tyres have a recommended highway pressure of 40 psi. If I drop them down to 16 psi, it just makes the world of difference. I'm not getting bogged. If I keep them at highway pressures, it doesn't matter if I'm in low range, I'll get bogged. So the first thing to do is to air down. Do it before you think you need to do it. You're not going to damage your tyres by doing it. If you've got four-wheel drive tyres, they're specifically designed to be able to air down. In fact, you're going to help preserve your tyres' life if you do it. It also helps preserve the track, and it makes your ride, first of all, a lot smoother, and secondly, a lot easier, because you're making the tyre's footprint a lot bigger. There's a whole heap of science behind it, and you can check it all out on the internet for proof if you need it. Airing down, that's the first one. The second is, even if you're on a road that is like this, it's not a four-wheel drive track, it's just an unsurfaced road. So you could bring a two-wheel drive car down here and be fine. But if you do air down, you don't have to go down to 16, but drop it to 20 if you, well, drop it 10 pound, and you'll be amazed at how much smoother the ride is. It won't make it disappear, but it will make it a lot smoother. And the third rule is gear selection. So typically on sand, you want to be in low range. And when you're in low range and you're in sand, you want to make sure you don't actually need first gear. First gear kind of becomes pretty much redundant. You can start driving in second gear low, and that's good. You don't want to give your car heaps of gas when you're starting off in sand. You want to try and get a nice smooth start and accelerate smoothly to ensure that your car is not digging down while, you know, with all the torque that you're giving it. So going through your gears, you might find that second gear low is pretty much your go-to gear for anything a little bit sort of soft or, you know, hilly. And don't ever use fifth gear in low range, because that's your car's kind of weak point. You're likely to, well, not likely, but you're running a risk of breaking stuff if you do that. Anyway, we're just about back at the highway, and I think that's going to bring us to the end of the trip. So thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed, please consider subscribing, and I will be seeing you again soon for the next Epic Drives Western Australia. I'm Dan, catch ya.